Catalina.
Welcome back. The Hawkeye is being used in NFL preseason games to determine the line to gain. I feel like this is going to trigger a lot more reviews because I don't know, like, how reliable is the technology? You know, what if my shoulder's over the line but the ball's not? I think this is going to trigger a lot more reviews on line to gain.
But the thing that I'm not sure about was reading through how they said when a first down would be picked up, the officials would automatically get like a message. Like, I guess this is going to be hooked to, I don't know, like a watch or what, but they're going to get a sort of notification, which would supposedly cut down on time. They're looking to shave like 40 seconds off. So, I mean, that's intriguing, but what happens if there's like a glitch or this is all brought on by Sony? And I'm not just being facetious here, but serious, like something gets hacked in the middle of an NFL game, you know, like that's where I'm kind of nervous about this. I like the idea of it, but at the same time, I would have liked them to go forward with a sky judge before they started doing this. And then kind of like, I think if you would have done a sky judge and then transitioned into this, it could have been easier and more efficient, personally.
Yeah. And they said the system is accurate down to less than half an inch, which is incredibly, incredibly accurate, and hope that the fans appreciate the objective view, or at least half the fans each play will be appreciating it. Obviously,
no more card. What was that, the Cowboys and the Packers? They broke out the card.
The Raiders, the Cowboys and the Raiders. Yeah. Gene Steratore, the card put him into the booth, I think. We're like, you know what? I should probably just go analyze things now as opposed to doing this. And he's one of the best minds in officiating for sure. But even then, I'd be like, I mean, every little move you make is criticized. And so I get it. Like, there's ways. I want them to improve technology. I want them to speed up replay. One of the things that is a problem with replay, and is a problem overall, is that a lot of the replay officials are just retired officials. Right. Now, when they go back to a hub, somewhere and review it, that's better. But also I think that a lot of those guys are retired officials because you need people who know the game inside and out. The problem is that, have you ever tried to teach your dad how to work his own DVR? This is how it goes, you know? So there's limits to these things, and if they can make it better, they can make it better. But I do worry about an over-reliance on technology, and I do think, as much as I like the fact that we have instant replay available, I do think that it is a crutch. And
it's overused.
Yeah.
Because to me, I would like it better if, like, you were, I don't know, like you said, every team, kind of like, what do you get, 2 challenges in the NFL?
Yeah.
Okay, if every team got 3 challenges and that was it, like, and you only review, like, there's ways to tighten it up.
Well,
and
I
not
like
have
the
to
way
rely on it so
I like
much.
the way the UFL did it this year, where they've got a sky judge.
That's what I want. I want a sky judge.
Like, that to me is, all right, you're going to have 3rd and 1 at the 27-yard line. There, or hey, you threw a face mask call. It was not a face mask.
Right.
Don't tell them to throw penalties that they missed. That unless it's one of those things that is like intentional grounding or illegal forward pass, something that you kind of need to review to make sure that it was
right,
because that's what they do with intentional grounding anyway, or any kind of play that would result in an ejection. Those kind of things, like, don't be like, oh hey, you missed a hold. Well then. Those things like, he was offside. Well, if they miss it, they miss it. But, yes, it was a fumble. Yes, it was recovered. It's at the 42-yard line. It's 1st and 10, the other team. 1st and 10, Green Bay, Dallas loses the ball. Like, that's how it goes. It's a lot faster than, all right, we're going to bring you out the little screen here, and you're going to watch it, and we're going to tell you what goes on. Just tell them. Don't mark it down of that. Like, just tell them, all right, yes, because some of them take way too long even for what they are.
Yeah.
And so if this system helps speed that up, also, if you're losing 40 seconds and changing, that is time you can probably That's not time you're going to save in the game. That's time that's going to go back into something else.
It's going to go back into commercials.
It's going
That's exactly what it's going to
go back, which means it's going to go back into the reviews that they need to make. So, yeah, if you can take 40 seconds off of every first down, then yes, now you're going to have time where it probably doesn't make you seem like this is going on forever with this review because you're doing that. I get it. I just hope that when it's implemented fully, especially when it goes down to college football, which it will.
See, that's one thing that I don't understand about any of the, I guess from a money perspective, because all the stadiums are getting this new technology put into them to track this. But anytime it comes to rules in general, like especially in football, I don't understand why they roll them out at the NFL and then try to do a trickle-down effect. Because to me, like you would – if you are, especially like if it was a rule change, why wouldn't you want to implement that at the lower level first? That way everybody is adapted to it, and by the time they get to the league, it's just second nature instead of having to redo and relearn everything you've learned across the way, like tackling and stuff like that. So little things like this is one that's where it's always kind of bugged me. Like, why would you do it backwards in a sense? But that's just here or there.
Yeah, no. I get, you know, well. Yeah, roll it up. Don't roll
it down. Like to me, if you have everybody coming up and learning, then there's no readjusting and learning on the fly.
That's why I think the UFL is smart to do these things.
It's very smart.
But yeah, I would if I were Hawkeye, I'd be like, UFL, will you guys institute this? Now, Barry Crawford makes a great point, is that knowing where the ball is within a half an inch doesn't tell you whether the runner's knee was down or not, or whether the receiver touched the line. That's all still subjective. So yeah, so that's still going to have to get reviewed. Like, okay, well, the ball crossed the line to gain, but where was the runner's knee? You know, all those things. Yeah, that's still going to be that. So I don't know, but yeah, retired stockbroker also just found out what Hawk Tua is.
Oh, I bet that made his day.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. She's getting booked a lot of places, and here's where it bothers me. I'm for everybody, you know, getting their 15 minutes, but she's gonna have to come up with a second joke. Yeah. If she wants to be a comedian and not an OnlyFans model, and she's already said she don't want to do that, but yeah, you got to come up with other funny stuff. That was funny and on the spot. It was great. But, you know, when you're like, hey, let's book her for this thing, you're like, I mean, how many times can you hear that? Right. That joke, you know, even Gallagher smashed something other than watermelons, right? So he had acts around the smashing the watermelon stuff. So, Kim Coulter asked Paul, what the hell is the new onside kick rule? Well, they can only do it in the fourth quarter, I think. It's complicated. You have to tell everybody you're doing it. You can't, like, sneak
So there's
one.
no secret to it.
There's no secret to it. You can only do it when you're trailing. You can't do it when you're up.
Then what's the point of having it?
The Saints, that part's going to probably get changed because the Saints won a Super Bowl. But they were losing it, but they did it after halftime. Yeah. So there's all that. I'm excited for the new kickoff rule. So,
who do you think? Which teams do you think could take advantage of the new kickoff rule the most this year?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs for sure.
The Chiefs have that rugby player, for God's sakes.
I mean, San Francisco. If you put like
San Francisco, Dallas with Kevontae Turpin. You know, and Bones Fossil, like that's
right up Bones' alley.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like, oh, great, new stuff. The Jets have a bunch of running backs. Like Izzy Abanaconda and guy. I don't know. Like they're gonna have to cut one of them, but they've got running backs, guys that like normally you wouldn't have kick returning, but given the nature of it, where you can get, it's not about returning touchdowns, is about better field position, right? Field position. Like touchdowns, fine. If you can get a touchdown, great. But instead of having to be at the 25-yard line, if you can be at the 44 because you handed it off to, one of your running backs, then, like Deuce, like, okay, the Cowboys have Deuce Vaughn too. Woo. Like Deuce Vaughn, Kevontae Turpin, and kind of this thing. That to me is something that's set up for guys of that kind of speed and elusivity. So
I think it's also a good opportunity for, especially the way the running back position is starting to be neglected in the league, to give people more opportunities to find a different facet to stay in there longer for their careers.
Yeah. Kim Coulter sitting in the Admirals Lounge, and he's behind. There's a new kickoff rule, too. Yes, there is. Both teams will line up at their respective 30s, I believe.
So your 30s or 35s.
30s or 35s. There's not this long, 50 yards in either direction run up for the two of them. The kick returners will stand at the 15 or something like that, or the 10. And then so you'll get real returns.
Right.
You'll get returns. It's going to be better. I like it for sure.
I like it too, because I understand where they're coming from with like the full speed and everybody, the collisions and everything. But I think this is a good way to kind of meet in the middle there and keep part of the game. You're still going to have the collisions, but it's not going to be as intense. But you have the element of it's so fun to watch somebody get loose on a kick return.
Yeah,
you can't take that out of the game.
The kickoff has become something that either you get this rare 100-yard kickoff return. Yeah. You'll definitely get more concussions on it, and you're going to get concussions in the NFL.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. But when you're getting a lot of concussions on plays that are touchbacks or plays to the 17-yard line, the juice is not worth the squeeze in what you're doing. And so, again, another thing the UFL pioneered was the kickoff to make it better. And, I think keep on instituting these rules. I think it will go to college sooner rather than later. Once the NFL workshops it and works out the kinks and rules-wise, especially if you see an uptick in touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
Then college is going to be like, well, we would like to do this.
Especially with all the gambling and stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, when you see an uptick in touchdowns, yeah. So it's going to be very interesting for fantasy football, too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if you're a fantasy football player and you've got somebody who's a kick returner that, might be your fourth wide receiver, after a couple weeks you see that, those yards are happening or touchdowns maybe happening more often, it's going to be Barry Crawford, of course, an Oklahoma State fan, is going to bring up Tyreek Hill.
As they should.
But look, the Dolphins have a bunch of guys: Devin Achane, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, a bunch of dudes who could be big in that. So yeah, for sure, it's going to be that. Kim's in the Admirals Lounge. I love on the very few occasions I've gotten to sit in the Admirals Lounge or the whatever the. That club is. It's nice. Sometimes they're okay. I'll tell you, Hawaiian Airlines, their first class lounge left a little desired. At least in Maui, it did. I was a little bit disappointed in that. But again, you're just hopping between islands, so it's not like all that. But I was kind of hoping for more fresh pineapple and
you'll be treating like Alexander
other
the
than
Great.
Okay, here's some snack mix and. A little machine that makes juice. But I'll tell you, so when you're going to Hawaii on American Airlines, American Airlines and Japan Airlines share an Admirals Lounge at DFW. And you know what that means, Garrett? Japanese toilets.
Oh, perfect for you.
Yes. So... I used it twice, even though
just seeking it out.
Well, I'm just I just went in and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go back and nothing's happening here, but I feel like I didn't use all the features,
right? Yeah.
So I want to go through, but yes, Japanese toilets on my presidential platform. Yes. He says after 2.7 million miles, it's no longer a big deal, but at least they're clean in the bathrooms. But yes, bidets. Yes, Japanese toilets are all bidets. Here's the thing. In Japan, most of the toilets...
They're on the ground, right?
No. They're toilets.
Okay.
And they're bidet. They're fancy. You have a button, and it washes you. It dries you off. All those things. It's glorious. You're, like Jim Gaffigan said, you're cleaner when you go out than when you went in. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes. My presidential platform, Japanese toilets and bidets in every bathroom. Also, when it comes to bathrooms, I will make the CEO of Buc-ee's my bathroom czar.
Like they are
my
elite.
bathroom czar. And if you do not adhere to the cleanliness standards of the Buc-ee's bathroom, you will be fined and ticketed by the government.
I think the only person I've ever heard have a flaw with a Buc-ee's bathroom is Chris Allman, because he's colorblind. And he can't tell when the red or the green is on when he's going through there.
Yeah, but that's it. That's it. But we will have those kind of cleanliness standards. Now, look, I know that you probably don't have it in your budget to build everything like a Buc-ee's bathroom. Those are the infrastructure subsidies that a Paul Catalina administration will make sure you get your way. We are going to have clean bathrooms. We are going to aspire. America's the greatest country in the world, right? We keep saying it. Well, guess what? There's some things we're behind on, and bathroom cleanliness is one of them. Mm-hmm. There are countries, like Bangladesh, we're like right above them. We don't need that. We need to be on the cutting edge of bathroom cleanliness, and that's what America rises to challenges. And if you're not ready for a really clean bathroom, and airport bathrooms are getting more disgusting by the second.
Yeah, airports are going downhill.
Oh, brother, the Palm Springs airport bathroom was just
brutal.
It's like somebody went in there and like they had drains on the ground in every stall. So I feel like somebody went in there and just like said, "How much can I pee on the ground?" This is an important issue to me, that we're going to have clean bathrooms. Clean bathrooms. That's a huge deal. I've already told you about microwave uniformity.
Yes.
That you will be able to program a microwave no matter what. You know, at least like they can have extra features and extra buttons all they want.
That's cool, but cook the same.
But I want to be able to hit 60 seconds and start the same way on every microwave. Not time, cook, temperature, start, whatever. I want 6-0 start every microwave in America. That's what I want. So I want airport bathrooms to start adhering to some standards. Public restrooms to start adhering to some standards. Gas station bathrooms, for God's sake. Do truckers even have sex in bathrooms anymore? Can you do it? They're gross.
I don't know, man. You get the right lot, lizard.
I want truckers to be able to feel clean when they've had clandestine sex in a bathroom. That's what I want. That's what I want for America. Truckers have really hard lives. Really hard, especially now, since we're not regulating their bosses at all. And they're making them drive cross country and do speed and all these terrible things. I'm going to help you, truckers. You're going to have better lives. And if you're stressed out and need to have a quickie in the bathroom with a stripper you met, the bathroom's going to be clean, by God. It's going to be clean. I'm a friend of the working man. You hear me, America? I am for you. Clean bathrooms. Look, it's the little things.
It really is.
Okay.
They add up.
Okay, Republicans, Democrats, MAGA, liberal hippies, like we can all come together in the fact that when we're out and we need to pee, we want to pee in a place that is not covered in bacteria.
Yes.
That's what we want. That's where we can come together. So if it's just that little issue where the left and the right can come to the center and join together, if clean bathrooms is where we have to start, then that's where we're going to start. And then, you know what? I'll take on racism after that. But first, we're going to do clean bathrooms. We can all agree, whatever race we are, whatever political affiliation, whatever religion or not religion, if you're Presbyterian or you worship the sun god Ra, we all want to pee in a clean place. That's what we want for America.
Love it.
I'm bringing us together one toilet at a time. Also, for women's bathrooms, here's another idea I have. May not work as much, but there's quite often lines. See, men, we have the trough, right? We have the trough. So we can go up to the trough. For women, I'm going to propose the bench. Ooh. Just a straight across bench. for stadiums to keep it moving.
I like it. To
keep it moving.
There
might be a lack of privacy that might not hunt. Like, I'll have to ask, people who've been in women's bathrooms, if that would work. I don't know. But
just put individual stalls. Or make it work.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're talking bidets. We're talking mops. We're talking clean up sinks. Listen, Windex, do you have any idea how much money Windex will give to my campaign?
Oh, dude. They'll be one of your biggest funders.
Windex scrubbing bubbles.
Pledge? Come on.
I'll be able to run on just that alone. I've got to fight big toilet paper.
Yes.
So I need the help of...
You're going down, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. You're going down. Listen, that Charmin bear, he's going to be a rug on my friggin' ground right in front of my fireplace. That's who that's going to be. We're going to have Japanese toilets bringing America together. That's how we're going to do it,
baby.
Everybody's trying to do it the complex way. I'm starting simple. That's what I want. On the show today,